thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Globs, all as the weird woman has promised, and I fear thou hast played most foully for it. Yet it was said, it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, MacBeth, their speeches shine. Why? By the verities on thee made good. May they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been a great gap in our feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, in our your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to thee which my duties are with the most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice, which still hath been both grave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time. Twixt this and supper. Go not my horse, the better. I must become a borrower of the night, for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange intervention. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we shall have cause of state craving us jointly. Hie to you, horse! Adieu till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord, our time does call upon us.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Cyril, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which we would be. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he worse being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked. As it is said, Mark Antony's case was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when they first put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my grip. Thence to be wrenched with an unlineable hand. No son of mine succeeding, if it be so. For Banquo's issues I have filled my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace. Only for them, and mine eternal jewel, given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo's kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? You! Go to the door, and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was so please your highness.
Well then, now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he, in times past, which held you so under fortune, which you had thought been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, passed in probation with you, how you were born in hand, how cross the instruments, who wrought with them, and all else things that might till half a soul and notion craze. Say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and went further, which is now the point of our second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let us go? Are you so gospeled to pray for this good man, and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave, and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue you go for men, as hounds and greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, chows, water rugs, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter. Every one according to the gift which bounteous nature hath in him closed, whereby he does receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike. And so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it, and I will put that business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off, grapples you to the heart, and love of us, who wear our health sickly in this life, wishing his death were perfect.
I am one of each, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world hath so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be rid of it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest of life. And thou I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight and bid my will avouch it. Yet I must not, for certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall who I myself struck down. And thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
Shall my
Perform what you command.
though our lives
Your spirit shine through you, within this hour at most. I will advise you where to plant yourselves, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time. The moment on it, for it must be done tonight, and something from the palace. Always thought that I require clearness. And with him, to leave no rubs nor botches in the work, Fleance, his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
we are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It was concluded, Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out.
But who bid you join us?
MacBeth,
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the late travelers apace to gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
hark, I hear horses.
Give us a light there.
Ho! Then this he. The rest that are within the know of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile, but he does usually, so all men do. From hence to the palace gate, make it their walk.
Light, a light!
'Tis he!
Stand to it. It will be ready. Let it come down. Treachery! Fly, good Fleance! Fly, fly, fly! Thou mayest revenge! Oh, slave!
Who did strike out the light?
Was it not the way?
There's but one down. The sun is fled.
We have lost but half of our fare.
Well, let's away and see how much is done.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourselves will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in best time we will acquire her welcome.
Pronounce it to me, sir, to all our friends, for my heart speaks. They are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their hearts thanks. Both sides are even. Here I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mirth, anon will drink a measure at the table round. There's put upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art not corrupt.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had Elspeth perfect, whole as a marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound to saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe?
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes on his head, the least a death in nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature in time. Will venom breed, no teeth further cut. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. The feast is so that is often vouched. While 'tis a making, 'tis given the welcome. To feed were best at home. From thence, the sauce to meat is ceremony. Meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrancer. Now good digestion, wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed, with a grace person of our banquet present, whom may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please it to your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Butcher, you have done this!
What, my good lord?
Thou cannot say I did it! Never shake thy gory locks at me!
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well. Sit!
Worthy friends, my lord is often thus and has been from his youth. Pray you, keep fit. The fit is momentary upon a thought. He will again be well. As much you know him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one, that dare look on which might appall the devil!
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, impostures to true fear, would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire. Authorized by her grandam, shame itself. Why do you make such faces when all's done? You look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there! Behold! Look! Lo! How say you? Why, what care I? If thou cannot, speak too! If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monuments shall be maws of kites.
What quite unmanned in folly.
If I stand here, I saw him.
Fie for shame!
Blood hath been shed ere now. I in the olden time, ere human statue, purged the gentle wheel. Aye, and since too murders have been performed, too terrible for the ear. The time has been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crowns, and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to all those that know me. Come, love and health to all. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would we hear? To all and to him we thirst, and all to all.
Our duties in the pledge.
Avaunt, and quit my sight! On the earth hide thee! Thy bones are perilous, thy blood is cold! Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which doth glare with!
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom, 'tis no other, only it spoils and the pleasure of the time.
What man? I dare! Approach thou like a rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros or the Hyrcan tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerve shall never tremble or be alive again. And dare me to the desert with my sword! If I am trembling, I inhabit it then. Protest me, the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow! Unreal mockery, hence! Why so? Being gone, I am a man again. Pray you, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting, with most admired disorder.
Can such things be and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe. What now, I think you can behold such sights, and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks while mine are blotched with fear?
What sights, my lord?
I pray you speak not, he grows worse and worse. Questions enrage him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night, and better health attend his majesty.
A good night to all.
Taking our
McBreak.
McBreak.
Okay, now start. You didn't shut it loud enough. No, don't do that.
Tis blood upon thy face.
That's not the line.
Tis blood upon thy face. My Macbeth laugh.
Go sit down.
Are you on it?
No, you're not, okay?
If you were sorry, you'd stop doing it.
To thee which my duties are with the
Can you just
That's close. That's close.
Are you? Tis no shave November, my king.
Alright, are you guys ready?
Beard hair in my mouth. Stop.
Who's there?
I wasn't ready.
Wait, are we all coming in?
Filming in front of the window. Can you see it out there? Give us a light there.
Ho! Then tis he.